Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, "We didn't know how to help." This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.
Rewrite the story. Hello, Mrs. Jones. So happy to join you. Yes, I am happy for you to be here. I also sent you an email. And I want to thank you all for joining me this evening over here on TikTok. They get me earlier than everybody else. And also over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. My name is Yvette Jones Swanson, and I am the National Veterans Homeless Housing Advocate, Realtor, Housing Strategist, and Professional Services in the GovCon space. And I teach operators, investors, veterans, social workers, case managers, human care professionals how to ethically house our homeless veterans. Now, what do I mean by that? Because, I keep getting these text messages. I don't want to say every day, but they come quite often and sometimes by the same person over again. But it's okay because what they're asking me is it right for people to house veterans in rooms, 2 to a room, 3 to a room? You got bunk beds and you putting grown folks in there. You're piling them up in your independent housing opportunity for veterans. And I say, if they really need that and they have no other resources that they can tap into, but 9 times out of 10, if it's let me back up. If it's a veteran, right, and you have an independent housing opportunity for homeless veterans to participate in your program or your housing opportunity that you have. Because I'm not saying rent because they're not renting, it's not rent. But however they name that. If the veteran needs to be there because let's say it's a senior veteran, they don't have a family and they can afford to pay out of pocket for that bed. They want to be in a shared area of like-minded veterans because they have no other family. And you're providing them a safe place to live, then that's fine. But if you're somebody who's saying I got all of these houses and I am I don't want to say rent. Oh my gosh. Accepting fees, put it that way. It's a fee-based sleeping arrangement. I don't even know what they call it. But anyway, and the veteran has no other place to go and they can afford it. So that's where they live. But if this is a veteran, let's say we have veterans who are being released from incarceration and they go to your reentry home, that's fine. Don't leave them there forever. Don't leave them there forever. And I'm building up to something. I'm just giving y'all scenarios of what I've been seeing in the community for years. And I'm not talking about just because now we have social media and that you're seeing people saying, I can teach you how to run an independent living home for veterans. That's where we have an issue. Unless the veteran is senior or handicapped, and this is where they want to live because they don't want to go to a nursing home or live on the street or live with a family member who is very abusive towards them, then that's fine. You're providing a service. But you're also leaving money on the table. You say what? Yes, I do say that. You're leaving money on the table. Because if you haven't taken time, first of all, to read my Foundations book, A Guide to Veteran Shared Housing Models, where it walks you through how to set up your veteran shared housing model and how to attach your veteran shared housing model to these agencies that have received the funding to pay for those veterans to be there on a transitional basis. So what's the next step? I teach you the next step too, because the veterans who are in your transitional housing unit, they don't have to stay there forever. They don't. You pick up the book, va.gov/get started. Go to va.gov/get started and download our federal benefits handbook and go straight to housing. Go to housing to see what veterans can qualify for if they apply and if they qualify. Find out what other benefits veterans could qualify for if they apply for them. This is on the federal level. Then you have benefits on our state level. So whatever state you're in, there are additional benefits outside of the benefits that the federal government awards to veterans who apply and could get approved. Because I'm not saying everybody can get approved for everything, but it's so many opportunities out there for veterans, but veterans have to take the initiative, and these operators who are operating these veterans shared living or veterans independent living or those types of properties, if you don't know what the benefits are, and if you're not encouraging these veterans to find out what their benefits are, if it's not part of your program, then what we call you in the GovCon space, the money grabber. That's it. You're a money grabber. It's one-sided. And I'm not saying it's one-sided for veterans who have no other place to be. Because veterans who can apply for federal, state, county, local, I'm talking about in your city, then we've got philanthropy organizations, we have foundations, we have all types of this va.gov/get started. That's to download the PDF, print it out, and put it in a binder and read it, study this. Because if you have veterans in your independent living model, you don't know the benefits from the federal government. You don't know your state benefits. I have mine here, Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs, A Guide to Veteran State and Federal Benefit Services. So these are state, and they give you some federal, but this is the book for federal. So whatever state you're in, go to your, Nevada Department of Veteran Affairs and find out what benefits there are for our veterans who are in your independent living facility. who are in your shared living facility. Because otherwise, what are you doing? You're giving them a bed, but they got so much more that they can receive. I was one of those veterans. I was in the YWCA for battered women. They weren't trying to help us get benefits. They were getting paid by the government for housing us in their transitional housing. So why haven't a lot of people heard about the funding that they can receive in their transitional housing that they're providing to veterans? Well, it's because you haven't looked it up. You haven't looked into it. You haven't done your research. And even if you do your research, how likely are you to get a part of those grants? Probably, you got to do a lot of work. But I've taken all that work and I've done it over 22 plus years. And I offer a master class. I've got a master class that's going on now, but I also offer a foundation. How do you get into veterans housing? I'm not talking about everybody else. My specialty, if you look around, is all veteran based. I've been housing homeless veterans for 22 plus years. I believe in this fall, it'll be 25 years, give or take, maybe 6 months. So I've been in this field for a very, very, very long time. I've housed homeless veterans. I've housed homeless veterans as a realtor and also as an investor, as a contractor and a consultant and property manager. And I'm here to share with you how to effectively house homeless veterans in any state of their homelessness, from homeless to their transition, to rentals, to home ownership, becoming investors and business owners. So I have a master class that I conduct every Thursday. So go and let me see, how can you register for my master class? You want to register for my master class, then over here on TikTok, send me a DM with your email address and I'll send you the invitation link. And over here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, you want to engage in the master class that I have coming up this Thursday to teach you how to effectively house homeless veterans, then go to and DM me or something. Let me know and I'll send you the link. Now, housing homeless veterans, right? From homelessness, where do they get the money from? That's what's been on a lot of people's minds all these years, but didn't know how to ask me. Yvette, how do you house homeless veterans as a realtor and get paid? I've been housing homeless veterans as a realtor and I've been getting commissions all of these years. I've written veteran village plans. I've written thousands of veterans housing plans. But all of this takes connectivity to the community. It's a collaborative effort. So if I'm calling an investor, and I've worked with thousands of investors over the years, I call an investor and I say, hey, we have a veteran who needs this type of housing and I know you have it. Let me go ahead and send them over there so they can take a look at it. If they like it, then we're going to go ahead and complete the process to get the paperwork into the right department so you can start getting paid. Is that okay? Well, yes, Yvette. As a matter of fact, I have 5 units. Well, that's even better because I have 5 veterans who need the same type of housing. This is what I teach my operators how to get set up in the system, how to be compliant, how to be a partner with the agencies in the community for whatever type of housing model you decide. Because everybody's not going to do veteran shared housing where it's transitional. You might say, well, Yvette, you know what? I got some apartments. I'm not ready for that commitment where I'm accepting 10, 15, 20 veterans in my facility. I just want to rent out to a veteran family with the 𝐒𝐒𝐓𝐈𝐍. That's fine. I teach you that too. But let's go back and say, I do want to do veteran shared living models. I want to service, let's see here, women veterans. I want to service women veterans. So I give you about 7 or 8 different models in this book, including 𝐒𝐒𝐑𝐈𝐍 and �СSVF. That's where you get additional money. So let's say you start off with veteran shared living models, and you got two to a room. Beautiful. Now they have someplace stable to be, but you don't want to just stick them in that room forever just because you want to come back every month and get a check or get cash. You don't want to do that to them. The way my program is set up to help you is to align your program. I got a program that teaches you how to align your program with the programs and the organizations that are already out here who have received the funding. You say, Yvette, what funding are you talking about? Well, let me show you the money. So everybody wants to know, how has Yvette been getting paid all of these years? Because I know where the money is. If I have a homeless veteran with no resources, I know where to send this veteran to get resources to come back and get housed. Now it takes the community. So when I make a phone call, it takes you, the provider, to say, yes, Yvette, I've taken your program. I know exactly what's required of me as the provider, and send the veteran over. They like the place. They already have paperwork filled out. I read the application. I read the letter from their social worker. They're good on paper. I know where the money is coming from. If they like the place, they can have it. Okay, Vet, I get a check. I'm not the provider, but I'm the person who brought the veteran who didn't have any resources, who I helped get resources, and not by myself. I'm not a one-woman show. I know where the money is. I know who to send these veterans to based on their federal benefits, state benefits, county benefits, local benefits. So if you tell me that I want to house homeless veterans, this is where you need to start. With this book right here, this is your foundations book, because otherwise you are not effectively housing veterans. You're just sticking them in a bed. So where's the money, Yvette, to house these homeless veterans? Well, the money is in the community. In every state within United States of America. And I'm about to show you some of that money right now. On August 27, 2025, that's in this document right here. Y'all probably can't see it over here on, I'm just going to read it. Washington, the Department of Veteran Affairs announced on August 27, 2025, more than $818 million in grants to 235 organizations across the country to help veterans who are homeless or at risk of becoming homeless. $818 million. And when I go to Illinois, I can tell you every agency that I've worked with that paid the rent or the program fee. That's it, not rent for the beds, the program fee for veterans who are homeless. And because I referred those veterans to the providers like you who say that I want to house homeless veterans, you pay my commission. If you are an investor who say that, how do I get started? Well, the way you get started is to read my foundational book on veterans housing. Otherwise, you don't get started with me. This is your entry to veterans shared living and the entry to me. Otherwise, you'll just be watching me live like this. I have a whole group of amazing entrepreneurs who are studying right now to get started, and some of them they just stop. They say that I'm waiting until I get through my training in order to go back and revamp my program. Because if your program isn't in alignment to align yourself with $818 million, then it's not going to be in alignment with when the government came, when the United States Department of Veteran Affairs announced on September 23rd, just 1 month later, $84 million in grants to 176 organizations tackling veterans homelessness across the United States. So now you have 400 organizations that received over $900 million for the fiscal year 2026. And you're not billing these organizations for the veterans who are sleeping in your beds. You're putting strain on these veterans who get Social Security. They're not even service connected disabled veterans because you don't know how to direct them or help them obtain their service connection disability compensation, because you want to come back every month and get money from the veterans Social Security check. They might even get a disability check. They might just be at 50% and don't know how to get an increase, and you don't know how to show them, and you don't care to do it because you're coming back every single month getting your program fee is what you're calling it, but it's really not. These are the program alignments with the federal government where you should be getting paid. I'm not even done. That was just to the end of 2025. 2026, the VA sent out what's called a NOFO, NOFO, Notice of Opportunity. Oh, say what? SSVF. That's the money that y'all should be getting when you operate your veteran shared living models. And that's what I teach you. What everybody else is talking about. Oh, you can do veterans housing and put them in beds. Put them in beds. Two to a room. Get a big room. Use the living room. Use the dining room. Do 4 to a room. Oh, you know, I'm not the independent police. So I'm just here to let y'all know that there's another way, a way that you can really help veterans obtain the life that we deserve to have as veterans. I was a former homeless female veteran due to domestic violence by the hands of my then serving U.S. Marine husband. I would go to the VA and there was never any help like this. Oh, never. I became the person who I needed back in 87 to 93, all the way up to 2018 is when I first got my disability. When I first got my disability compensation, I'm 90% service connected now, but it took all of that time. And I'm still in the community, even though I was not service connected. I was still in the community teaching veterans, educating veterans, bringing workshops and seminars and trainings to the VA, to the CRRC, to Chicago City Colleges, to the Metropolitan Federal Bureau of Prisons, to Cook County Corrections. Did I say all the city colleges of Chicago? Yes. Various municipalities, because I know the importance of veterans receiving their benefits. We get housing benefits. We get eye benefits. We get prosthetics. This is a wig. It's called a prosthetic. It comes on and off, just like a veteran who needs a prosthetic hand or arm or leg or foot, even a nose or eye or ear. These are all of our benefits plus. So why would you create a housing model just to put veterans in bed so you can get paid every month? There's a second, third, fourth step to that. So I'm just here to teach you how to take a veteran from transition to rentals, and this is all in your portfolio. You might say, well, Yvette, I'm going to tell y'all about this other money and the NOFO in 1 second. You might say that I'm comfortable just doing independent housing. You know, the veterans are happy. As a matter of fact, I have veterans mixed in with other people. So yes, I'm in Chicago. So veterans are happy. Everybody's happy. I'm getting paid. They got some place to be every month. I mean, every day. And I'm renting the house. I'm not even looking to buy anything. So that means you're expecting the veterans to stay there forever. Forever, ever? Forever. Because you're not helping them obtain their federal benefits for housing. Because the next step in this from transition is rentals. The veteran is in your facility temporarily. They're in transition. That means keep on moving, keep on shaking, go up higher, go around the corner, go down the block, go to the next state, because now you can possibly qualify for a 𝐒𝐶𝐁 voucher. And then when they leave your transitional facility, are they going within your portfolio to a rental unit where they can now use that federal benefit to pay the rent under 𝐒𝐶𝐁 in your rental unit? So you see how you've just taken a veteran from homelessness out of your transitional housing where you were getting paid from one of these organizations that received not only $900,000, but in this year's NOFO, thank you so much. In this year's 2026 NOFO, SSVF, that's Supportive Services for Veteran Families, expects to award approximately $855 million on top of the over $900 million that's already in our community with those 411 organizations. So now this NOFO is to award an additional $855 million to over 200 awardees, not the 411. So now we have 611 or more, because it's over. Thank you for joining my club. It's over in this one it says, let me just read the whole thing. SSVF expects to award approximately $855 million via the Notice of Funding Opportunity. That's your NOFO. This is contract talk, government contract and procurement talking. Okay. The NOFO with over 200 awards with the range of, what is this? With a range of $262,981. That could be an award amount, to $23 million, $23,153,846 in awards. So, and you still talking about, I want to do veterans housing. I'm going to stick them in the bed and they going to pay me every month. I just be looking, I'm like, make your money. If that's where you want to stop and you're really servicing those veterans, because I do see some wonderful providers. I follow some wonderful providers, but I'm just looking at them like, it's so much more You want to make some more money? Because I know that's why a lot of people are doing this. You can make a lot of money. You want to make some more money? Then get some of this federal money right here. That's how you make your money. Don't just stop at transitional housing and go get your money every month, when these veterans can have an option being awarded their benefits to go to your rental unit. You can have a 4-unit building. You can have a 6-unit building. You can have several single family houses, because now when these veterans get a voucher, they got to go somewhere. They can't use their voucher on your bed. Thank you for joining my club. No, they have to go to a rental unit. So if you are a smart investor, you would have transitional housing, you would have rental housing, and you would have housing that you fix and flip and sell to these veterans specific to their needs. That's how you run your business the way I teach you. And I've been doing this for over 22 years. And I just started coming to tell people. Everybody knows here in the Chicagoland area, 𝐒𝐔𝐁𝐒𝐑𝐈𝐏𝐍𝐿 because she houses homeless veterans, from homeless to home ownership, to becoming investors and business owners. So now I'm just teaching y'all my model. That's what I'm doing. So if you want to learn the second phase to your transitional housing, because I'm going to teach you your transitional housing when you go buy this book and read it. This is my book right here that I wrote to teach you how to effectively house homeless veterans in your shared living model, and then to your rental unit, and then to the house that you're going to sell them with using their VA loan, federal benefits. And everything you're doing in housing is using the benefits, the money that's already in our community. So here, let me, I just bought it. Thanks, Tish. And then send me the picture, because I do have pictures and everything of everybody. And we're in 30 states now. So let me go over here. Y'all been blowing up some stuff over here. All righty. Let me see what YouTube is talking about. Hey, Miss Swanson, so happy to join you. Hey, Queen. Hello, everyone. Jose, hello there, and welcome. I got my book delivered yesterday. Hey, push them up, push them up. Take a picture holding the book like this. Send it to me with your name, your full name, and your city and state, because we're national and we're going national. We're staying national. We're helping these veterans. We have a veteran family, a veteran, I think she did 3 tours. She owned a home, no mortgage. Somebody stole the house in malicious cruelty. She became homeless in January, her and her caretaker, her caregiver. She got a voucher in March because she couldn't find some place to live with the voucher from March to November. Her voucher was terminated. Now, just imagine if we had an operator in Charlottesville, Virginia, who was trained on the models that I teach and the way that you can accept veterans into your property, she would have been housed. But we have realtors, and I teach realtors my process now too, because realtors over the years, even how you get paid, These homeless people don't have money. How you get paid? I get a commission just like you, but they don't know where the money came from. Yeah, I teach that in this book. So so now she gets her voucher terminated, still homeless, but now her voucher is terminated because she couldn't find an operator, an investor, or a realtor in Charlottesville, Virginia, to take the voucher. Let me show you the voucher. This is our voucher here for Chicago. And I teach you how to work with this too in my master class and in my intensives. Nobody could accepted the voucher. Nobody. And nobody in the housing authority was knowledgeable enough, nor did they do not veterans, but investor seminars to teach them. I did that at the VA. We would invite investors in. I'm like, look, these investors got to come here. It's too slow. We have too many veterans with vouchers, and these investors in our community need to know how to work effectively with us. The realtor, with the social worker, with the case manager, how to get your unit inspected and approved the first time. I did a walkthrough inspection today on a unit. A young man said that I want to rent my unit to a veteran. Okay, fine. We got to look at this place before we do anything. Everything was going smoothly until the eye on the stove did not work. And I will be posting the whole entire inspection on social media so y'all can see the whole inspection. If you're not knowledgeable on housing veterans and working with the federal government to get your funding, then stick around. I don't know, about 8 books on different topics. So y'all know about the book for the Veteran Shared Living Models. This is your foundational book. Without this, don't even talk to me. Don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me nothing until you read. And then, hey, you're in the fold now. You get to come to the master class. You get to come to the intensive. And we have a good time on our classes. A good time. They're like, you done blew my mind. I said good. It needs to be blown. You need to know how far you can go with this. And it's unlimited. I have a chart here. Homeless, at risk, transitional housing, rentals, home ownership, investor, into business owner. That's what my program teaches you to do. That's what I've been doing over 22 years, taking veterans from homeless through their transition to rentals, to home ownership, to becoming investors, because the veteran can use their VA loan to buy a 2, 3, and 4 unit as well as a single family house. I have investors who have purchased 4 units, instant investor, instant business owner, but they just don't jump into it. They learn first. I've been teaching this to my veterans, and now I'm teaching y'all. So anyway, this is one book, The Veteran. This is your foundation, Veteran Shared Living Models. Go in my bio or go and look up my name, Yvette Jones Swanson. Go to Amazon and get this book. And I also have a private group. My master class is this coming Thursday. So if you want the link to my master class, DM me and I'll send you the link. If you are a realtor, go get the realtor's book. Do y'all know? Y'all don't know. Let me show you something though. Hold on. So in 2025, I got the President's Award from Main Street Organization of Realtors. The president gave me this award for what? For outstanding service, dedication, and time so generously given to Main Street Realtors. I've been housing homeless veterans as a realtor. Homeless veterans. I'm also a veteran, Army veteran. I was also homeless. I got this award 2025 from the Illinois Department of Veteran Affairs. 25 women leaders in 2025. I was one of them. I got the award. My company, VetMentors, I'm training operators in 30 states. 30 states. And I don't even know. The ones who purchased my book, y'all can be trained too, because there's so much more to learn. So those were 2 books right here for realtors and for everybody who says, I want to house homeless veterans. And this book is my 3rd edition, Veterans Buying Real Estate Guide for Today's Market. This is my whole workshop that I did at the VA, at the vet centers, at Chicago City Colleges, everywhere I go. The Metropolitan Bureau of Prisons, that's your federal prison. Why was I in a federal prison? Well, I was conducting a workshop for veterans who are going to be released from incarceration. What do they need to know when they get out here to this cold, cruel world of landlords and realtors talking about, oh, you been to jail? You denied. You been to jail? What? Yeah, so I'm like, bunk that. Y'all gonna stay where you gonna stay. And if you're lucky enough, we have some operators who are doing veteran shared living, and there's enough organizations to pay for them to be here while they're working on their education, because veterans get benefits for education, working on their credit, working on their disability and compensation, working on their 100%, then they gonna buy a house, leaving your transitional facility to the house that you sell them. You're working with the knowledgeable realtor in your community. I teach y'all all of this. And realtors wonder, hey, how Yvette house homeless veterans and she's getting all of these awards and she's number 5 in the company of 777 agents and she's top transactions in the whole company, the top number 1 in transactions, and all she does is house homeless people, homeless veterans. How is she doing that? Those were the questions that were being asked for real, though. So now I just wrote the book. I don't have time to be talking anymore. Get the book, join me in my master class this Thursday, and join me in the intensive where I teach you even more. That's really it. Because this is not the platform for me to come on and just start teaching y'all everything I know. You got to take it in bites. You know, you how do you eat an elephant? And one of the providers, that was Joel. Who was it, buddy? I forgot which one said in bites. Well, yeah. My YouTube is homeless veterans. I don't know my assistant name. I just left it. Just type in my name. Yvette Jones Swanson. I was about to, let me read some more. Hold on. Somebody else was saying something. Then I'll come over here to TikTok. Hello, everyone. Chucky. Okay, let me see. Show. I'm Jewel. I'm a disabled senior veteran in a rural area town in a motel till my disability runs out. There are no shelters in the area. I don't drive and no public transportation either. Jewel, and I keep asking you to email me so that I can email you back so that we can converge on finding you some benefits. You need 100%. And you may need to apply for a 𝐒𝐈𝐍 voucher and leave the area, or use the 𝐒𝐈𝐍 voucher on somebody's unit. Hopefully they are knowledgeable enough where you live to accept the voucher. Homeless to home ownership. Yes. The nearest VA is 150 miles away. Oh my God. Yeah, you might need to move from Oklahoma. I go national in Oklahoma. We need it. So let me see who's in Oklahoma. I don't have anybody in Oklahoma. There's no pin to Oklahoma. No pin on Oklahoma. And unless I get somebody in Oklahoma, or you email me and we find you some benefits, but you also need to get your 100%. And I do work with Louis here. He does homeless benefits for homeless veterans. He does the paperwork for free. He's with, his company is SOS. Do you have, I don't know what type of help you're looking for. You can be the help in Indiana. I don't employ anybody. I work with providers who say they want to house homeless veterans, and they get the book, first of all, to read, and they join my learning. I don't know. I don't know. Because I don't know what that means, Libra B. There was a home. I had a potential client who I was going to work with in setting up his home. Um, hold on. In setting up his property in Indiana. I don't work for anybody. I am independent, and this is my company, VetMentors. And I hold on, Alexa, resume play. I educate. I've been doing this long enough. I can sit down right now and educate. So if this is something that you want to do in your community, then you have to learn the platform that I've set up. I don't look for properties for anybody. I can refer you to a realtor in your area to look for properties. I would refer you. That's a document we fill out. And or you want to be an operator. You want to be an operator, then you buy my books and you join my master classes and you join my intensive trainings. Other than that, I don't have nothing else for you. I'm about to open a home. I would suggest, it's just my suggestion. I've only been doing this a little while, is to get this book right here and go, before you buy the book, go read the reviews and see what my operators have said about this book. And also go to my YouTube channel and watch the videos of the operators who have purchased the book and who have used the book and my master classes and intensive to actually open their own veteran shared living models. This is a national movement. You get connected with me, you stay, because I want to make sure you succeed. If you want to just open a independent living home, go right ahead. And you want to do it the way you do it because you see everybody on social media doing it that way, then that's on you. But I teach you how to get this money for real, federal money, in the book. Do you have anyone in Michigan? In Inkster, Michigan. We have somebody in Inkster. But, Michigan is big, just like any other state. I want to help and assist. You got the book. Read the book. I'll join the masterclass Thursday. You got to sign up for that masterclass. Yeah. So Buddy is in Inkster, Michigan, and he was on, I think he's been to 2 master classes, he's been to 2 intensives already. They don't even like me get off the phone. I'm like, look, y'all, we've been on here 30 minutes or more. The first time we did it, we were on there an hour extra. Just come, because you have to write your program. Thanks for joining my club. You have to have a program, because otherwise you're just collecting somebody's money every month. Well, they could be collecting their own money, getting their own credit straight to go buy a house. It's from homeless to home ownership. It's not getting a veteran, keeping them in your, that's holding our veterans hostage. You're not doing nothing. When I was at the YWCA, they didn't do nothing. Yeah, they gave me a bed, so I didn't have to go back to the abuser for a few weeks. But they didn't help me get any benefits. They knew I was a veteran. They knew my husband, who was actively serving. They didn't help me do nothing. So now when I go back and think, how can I help these operators help our veterans do better in life? by creating your programs, which are going to be in alignment with the federal, the NOFOs, and the grant per diems, linking with these agencies that have received the funding, doing your work in your program to get the experience for 1 or 2 years. So now you can go back and apply for these grants. What? Yes. Do the math. Do the math. You're building your portfolio. Oh, thank you. You're building your portfolio. You've got the transitional housing. You've got rental units. You've got single family houses that you have rehabbed. You have an agency that a realtor who can find properties, who you have linked with, who you have said, girl, look, if you don't read this book, if you don't join our community, then I cannot work with you, because I can't do this by myself. Now that I've come national, I need y'all to advocate, and I need y'all to tell some realtors to go get this book so you can join me in this empire that I'm about to build in whatever city and whatever state you're in. You're going to learn how to set up your veteran living models. You're going to learn 𝐒𝐈𝐍. You're going to learn SSVF. You're going to learn grant per diems. You're going to learn contracts. You're going to learn how to align your business with the money. That's what I teach you. All this other stuff, I don't even have words to say. So when you tell me that I want to house homeless veterans, okay, then you ain't saying nothing to me. Because you don't even know what that means. You think it just means I'm going to stick them in bed. They're going to be in the bed, two to the room. Forever. I like that. Forever? Forever, ever? Don't do that. How would you like somebody to do that to you? You a whole veteran. I saw a movie like that. That was the what movie was that? Jamie Foxx played. He was a blind musician. Oh, dang, what's his name? Somebody tell me, what's his name? How you know I have Boost the Business? You probably yeah, Ray Charles. Yes. So Ray, that was the movie. Ray, thank y'all for being attentive. So Ray and old girl had Ray in her house, doing the do and taking his money, not paying him. She was holding him hostage. And that's what you all are doing if you're just having these not even transitional housing, the shared, the co-living. That's what you're doing. You're holding our veterans hostage. And that's why I keep getting all of these text messages and phone calls. But don't call me, because I don't answer my phone unless we have an appointment. And if we have an appointment, we're doing that over Zoom anyway. Yes. That's what you're doing. But you don't have to. I teach operators how to have your transitional housing. Please love up on our veterans. And in your programs, and I also consult on that. I teach you how to make the bomb.com programs so you can be in alignment to get this money. And now you're helping this veteran now get some money to pay some rent. They probably got approved for 𝐒𝐈𝐍. And guess what? Again, I know I'm repeating myself for those in the back row who weren't listening. And you have rental units. It could be 1-bedroom rental units, like Buddy said. Or that you have me looking at properties a whole different way now. Yes. You could have 1-bedroom units, 2 beds, 3 beds, apartments, condos. You can even have trailers They have to be affixed to the ground. And the veterans could use their 𝐒𝐈𝐍 vouchers on those. That's part of your portfolio. You're still an investor. And you see some houses that, you know what, I think I want to buy these houses, and have my realtor who took Yvette's class and who read her book, who can now do some veteran housing and home buying seminars in my vacant unit. And we already have us a buyer because we've been grooming our veterans who are in our transitional housing, not just to rent, but to buy. That's how you help our homeless veterans. Anything else is null and void. So when you contact me and say that I want to do veterans housing, oh well, go get the book. Go get the book. Oh, what's in the book? Your eyeballs. If you can't take time to read and do it the right way, then I don't know what to tell you, because that's the only way I teach. Is the right way to get this government money. As a realtor, as a provider, as an investor, even as a social worker, because y'all could really help veterans. You're the first seat a homeless veteran sits in next to you, the social worker. And you just let veterans walk right on out the door homeless because you haven't taken, hold on, where's the book I wrote for social workers? I wrote this book for social workers. I trained social workers, case managers, human care professionals, and first responders back in the day. And I'll tell y'all how I did that and why I did it. I did it because working with homeless veterans, and it was the social worker's job in homeless walk-in 𝐒𝐈𝐍 to help this veteran find housing. But when I got to Jesse Brown and 𝐒𝐈𝐍, they would be like, Yvette, I haven't bought a house in 30 years. I've been in my house for 30 years. I don't know how to rent anything. I don't know where to go for that. Okay, well, you need to be trained. The other social worker, I just graduated and I went back home to my parents. I've never rented anything. So I teach them how to do it right here. Program managers, everybody. So hold on a second. Yes, ma'am. When will you release? Hold on. When will you release veterans from boots to business? That's this book right here. I think after, I don't know, because I have this, I don't know when I'm going to release it. I've got one more chapter to put in here. All the way from being a homeless veteran, really. Because how can I go from being a homeless veteran to having 15 certifications, federal, state, local, counties, states, not just one. So that's what I teach in here. So being homeless to owning your own business. And not just any business, because that's another benefit that veterans receive. Veterans get, hold on a second. I have so many papers. Veterans get, hold on, here it is right here. Illinois, and this is not just for Illinois. This is for all states, because I am in Illinois, and that brochure is the Illinois Veteran Entrepreneurship Programs and Procurement. Entrepreneurship programs state offers for free, and procurement. Procurement, what do you mean, Yvette? Oh, we can become a veteran-owned small business and get a certification? Yes, you can. I got both of these certifications. The Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Business Certification and the Veteran-Owned Small Business Certification, VOSB. I'm also on, yeah, I'll cut out a bit. I'm also one of the executive board directors on, y'all see this right here? The elite veteran owned small business for Illinois. So when I say veterans get a lot of benefits, we are truly, truly the recipients of Uncle Sam. Now, getting those benefits, is it easy? Hell no. I'm not saying that. But you have to do it in order to get it. So if you're in somebody and be diligent, you cannot stop until you get it. That's my time. I hope you all send me a message so I can send you the link. Free. I'm not free. Okay. So don't expect me either, because I know y'all don't expect me to answer your emails. When I answer your emails, it will be with directions. If you follow those directions, then you'll have investors, serious providers. If you can't buy a book and read a book and do your homework before you get to me, then yeah, you won't. I have a lot of people. I've been doing this for all these years. Okay, well, you have any contracts? Do, are you answering no folk? Can you answer a sources star? Can you answer an RFP or an RFQ? Can you do any of that? Then you're not on this level. You're just providing a bid. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me see. You said you were and are determined to. Oh, yes, I was a homeless veteran. It sucked. That's me right there. Right there. I got discharged at 19, homeless. Well, not really homeless, but okay, I'll tell y'all that story. Due to military sexual trauma, I became a veteran at 19. I became no benefits. So it has been my life mission after I became a realtor, not only to house veterans, but to make sure veterans got their benefits. Because without benefits, we go hard to make sure veterans know about their benefits and know where to go and apply for their benefits. So you want to be on team Yvette. Then do the right thing. VetMentors. Oh, look, I made a tie. That's my logo. See that? It's so cute. So cute. I got about 60 ties that I made. Because, around this time, even though I'm on here talking to y'all and everything, there's always that heaviness that lives inside of me. because of what happened to me in the military. And I missed you in the intensive this Saturday. So I do an intensive every Saturday, and I went and did an inspection, the same inspection that I have my providers do, the pre-inspection. And I did one today for a provider who is coming on board. And this was for a HUD inspection because he's not going to do veteran shared living since his village won't allow him to do that. So he's going right to Section 8, HUD VASH. So we did his inspection. I'm like, okay, this is what they all need to be doing. And we recorded the whole thing. So I'm going to put that out. It was phenomenal. He said, Yvette, I'm not good on camera. I'm like, you're not on camera. You just talking. We're doing the inspection. And he would have failed too. I said, I'm so glad I came over. He said, Yvette, I am too. He would have failed for something real simple. Y'all will see on the inspection video. It's phenomenal. So everything just aligned. Everything just aligned that way. Thank y'all for being here. God bless every one of you. And thank you so much for stepping up and saying, hey, I want to house veterans the right way. I appreciate that. And our veterans do too. God bless you. And I'll see y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow at 5:15 Central Time.
Across America, too many of our heroes return home only to face another battle, the fight for stable housing. Veterans are overrepresented in the homeless population, often caught in a system that is complex, slow, and full of barriers. At VetMentors, we're changing that narrative. For over 20 years, we've been boots on the ground, not just identifying the problem, but building real solutions. That's why we created the U.S. Military Veterans Educational and Resource Guide book series, a groundbreaking collection designed to educate, equip, and empower. These guidebooks are written not only for veterans, but also for the communities, organizations, and leaders who serve them. From step-by-step housing models to funding strategies, this series gives social workers, case managers, realtors, and first responders the tools they need to act with speed, dignity, and impact. VetMentors believes housing is not charity. It's a mission, a responsibility, and a pathway to restoring honor. Every guidebook in this series is a resource designed to make sure no veteran is left behind, and no community has to say, we didn't know how to help. This is how we turn challenges into victories. I'm Yvette Jones Swanson, Army veteran, CEO of VetMentors LLC, and I invite you to join us in rewriting the story for America's veterans.